Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. I'm Chris Holman, and we're coming to you from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport. We're going to go up north a little bit here. You know how us Michiganders use that term, up north, and just about nobody else in the continental U.S. does, by the way. Tony Stamas, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Midland Business Alliance. Tony, as always, welcome. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing great, Chris, and always good to have you up north in Midland.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, and we're looking forward to going even farther north here pretty soon for the Detroit Regional Chamber of Commerce's Mackinac Policy Conference.
Absolutely.
So be good to see you there. All right, so explain a little bit the Midland Business Alliance is what we do for everybody that's out there.
You know, a number of years ago, 6-7 years ago, community leaders looked at what we'd been doing with our legacy chamber, economic development, and a couple other entities that are really key partners, and said, look, the mission's the same here. And so they combined into the Midland Business Alliance. Our goal is to be, the hub for all things businesses here in our community, and certainly working with our regional partners. And so it's been we couldn't have predicted a pandemic, dam breaches, but I think it's been a bit of a proof of concept that we've all worked together on just critical issues to help in challenges, but also to help our community grow and thrive.
It's kind of interesting because more and more people are going to that, and some consolidation, some coalitions being built, etc. But it really has become a team sport, making your community healthy.
It is. And, in every case, resources are limited, but, working together, making sure we're all on the same page. And I think, we're fortunate. It's a wonderful community, and people really are about finding solutions.
All right. So let's talk about advocacy. How is that going, and what's happening at the Capitol that might be of concern?
A lot of things, concerns, opportunities. When we did our strategic plan a couple of years ago, we put advocacy as kind of an umbrella over everything we do, because it touches all different parts of it. And so, a couple areas that we've really been focused on, infrastructure, I mentioned the dam breaches, but we've had some legacy flooding issues going back decades. We're in the Saginaw Valley, and it's a wonderful setting, but it also presents some real challenges. So we've had an amazing team of volunteers working and finding solutions, working with our state legislators to get funding to build resiliency. So that's been an ongoing endeavor, working with the Corps of Engineers in terms of identifying potential solutions. I think one issue that we all are working on is housing. It's not just Midland, the region, the state, it's across the country. And so we created Housing Forward with support from two of our local foundations who are just so generous, and really putting together an infrastructure. So we're helping people if they're interested in developing 200 units or 4 units, and, throughout the counties. And so, what are the opportunities, the tools that are out there, and what are the impediments? And I think that's really come along in the last year and a half, and we've seen great value on that. And then third one I mentioned real quick is broadband. Broadband is again, coming out of the pandemic, we know that you can work around the globe, but you have to have that connectivity. And so trying to make sure that we're working with our ISP providers to get the resources at the state and federal level to build out and make sure that we're servicing all of Midland County.
It's pretty amazing. You mentioned two of the things that are real plaguing small business in particular. The other number one issue, of course, is talent. How are you guys dealing with attraction?
Yeah, you kind of go at it in a lot of ways. Some of the pieces we talked about, housing and broadband, certainly infrastructure impact on that. But we've got a young professional group that we've grown to, almost 350 members. And part of that, one of the things they've done the last couple of years is they do a crowdfunding campaign. And again, we partner with our community foundation. It's just amazing and doing this. And so if they raise 10,000 in crowdfunding, they get double that as a match. And so we've raised over 200,000 to help small businesses build out, to grow, to thrive. And our young professionals are leading the charge. And so I think that's exciting to see. But also, we want to make sure that we're keeping young professionals here, but we're also attracting them to come into our community. So, I think you work on talent on a lot of different fronts, but that's one that's really been wonderful to see that develop and grow.
Well, it's kind of a vicious cycle too, because you're out getting businesses to come to your community, create jobs, and then getting people to come to your community to fill those jobs.
Exactly. It's never ending.
Yeah, it absolutely is. So let's talk a little bit about childcare, which seems like it's lost in a lot of conversations, but it's kind of crucial to getting people back to work.
It really is. And that's, we talk about that, and the other issues we mentioned, we talk about transportation. Childcare is really a critical piece as well. And again, we've seen community investment. We've seen some build out in facilities, new facilities coming online. We're building a brand new community center, Greater Midland, which is, a significant portion of that is committed to working with children. And so, and providing childcare. So again, no one magic key as much as we wish there were, but trying to work with entrepreneurs, trying to work with nonprofits, those who are in that space to provide quality care at a level that people can afford. And so that's that's going to be an ongoing effort.
I just came back from Beijing where I was at an AI conference, and it brings to mind the fact that some of these jobs not being filled may be filled by innovation, AI, that sort of a thing. You've got to be looking in that direction too.
You do. And then, when some of that happens, but then it creates new opportunities. And Midland is the city of modern explorers. So what that meant 100 years ago and what that means today changes, but still want to make sure that vision holds true.
No, you're absolutely right. But nobody's going to stay current more than Tony Stamas, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Midland Business Alliance. Thanks so much for joining us, buddy. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll be right back on the Michigan Business Beat. You're watching on the Michigan Business Network, and I am still Chris Holman.